All right, I had a question from Karina over on smartphonematters.com. She says her brother gave her his old Sprint iPhone 5S, and she wants to know what her options are for using that phone with other wireless companies. Now, she mentioned she's aware of Straight Talk, but wants to know what the other options are. So I'm going to kind of assume that she's interested in prepaid wireless service, but let's talk about that Sprint iPhone 5S and what her options are. Now, Karina, the Sprint iPhone 5S is the model A1453. So flip your phone over and look on the back and make sure it says A1453. And then you'll know that for sure that's a Sprint iPhone 5S. And that phone is compatible with the AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint networks. So it's technically compatible with all four major networks. Now, the phone may be locked or it may be unlocked. If the phone is locked, it's only going to work with the Sprint network. If it's unlocked, you'll have the option to use it with a variety of different wireless services that also use the AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile networks. Now, a locked phone just means that Sprint has prevented you, the user, from using that phone with a different wireless network. And they do that if you bought the phone on a contract or a payment plan. They want to make sure that you finish paying for the phone before you try and take it off of the Sprint network. So that's understandable. Now, if your brother has completed the payment plan and meets Sprint's terms and conditions, they should unlock the phone for him. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Now, the first thing you should do is just check to see if the phone is unlocked already. Now, the easiest way to do that, borrow a AT&T or T-Mobile nano SIM card from a friend. Anyone that's using an iPhone 5 or later with AT&T or T-Mobile will have the right SIM card that you can try. Borrow it. Put it in your iPhone 5S. If the phone worked, you're able to make a phone call, then the phone is unlocked. And you're able to move on to the next step and figure out what service you want to use. Now, if the phone is still locked, you're not able to make a phone call with that SIM card in there. There's a few more steps you should go through. Now, the first thing you could do is just take the phone and try and reset it. If you take it and connect it to a Mac or a PC computer that's using iTunes, you can do a restore on the phone, and that'll wipe out all the data on the phone and reinstall the iOS system on the phone. And when you do that, the phone might unlock. It might automatically unlock. In fact, sometimes you'll see a message in iTunes saying that it unlocked the phone. Now, regardless of whether you see that message or not, after you do that step, try the phone again with an AT&T or T-Mobile SIM and see if you can make a call and find out if it's unlocked. Now, if the phone is still locked or you want to skip that step, the next thing you could do is have your brother check to see if he can get the phone unlocked. Now, if you look in my article here on smartphonematters.com, I have a link to my unlocking page. And there you'll find a link to Sprint's official policy for unlocking a Sprint device. So you want to visit that page and then read through the section on unlocking for domestic usage. So if your brother meets these 5 requirements, they should unlock that phone for you. And the requirements are simple. Just read through them. The phone has to be eligible for domestic SIM unlock. You have to have used the phone on the Sprint network for a minimum of 50 days. And your account and all this other stuff needs to be in good standing. Pretty standard unlocking policy. Now, your brother will probably need to contact Sprint customer care to find out about getting the phone unlocked. And once they do that, they'll give him the additional steps he needs to do to complete the unlock, which may be to connect the phone to iTunes and do that restore that I was talking about. Now, once you get all that done, you're going to either find out that you can unlock the phone or you can't unlock the phone. So if the phone is locked, your only option is really going to be to use it with Sprint. And that might not be that bad of an option. If we take a look here, we'll see that Sprint has single line options. You and your brother may consider going in on a family plan. Now, it looks like they have this unlimited freedom single plan. So unlimited talk, text, and data, HD video streaming, and 10 gigabytes of hotspot data. And it looks like the first line is $60. The second line is $40. So I'm assuming you would, on a family plan, add that up for 2 lines. It would be $100. So that would come out to about $50 each. Now there's probably taxes and fees and going to need to read the fine print of the plan. That's not too bad for an unlimited plan. Now, if for some reason you don't want to spend that much money or you don't want to go in on a family plan with your brother, you could get your own Sprint plan. Now, it looks like their least expensive plan is $40 a month for a 2 gigabyte plan. So that plan is going to give you unlimited talk and text, unlimited international text, and 2 gigabytes of high-speed data, including mobile hotspot. Now, you always want to check the fine print. It looks like down here it says price shown is with $5 a month auto pay discount applied within 2 invoices. So it looks like it's probably $45 a month. And then after 2 months of paying your bill on your credit card automatically, it'll drop down to $40 a month. Now, it also says here other monthly charges apply. So if you're interested in that, we'd have to talk about what those charges are. Now, it turns out that Sprint also has prepaid plans, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, Sprint does not support bring your own phone or bring your own device with their prepaid network. So it doesn't look like you can take a Sprint phone and use it on Sprint's prepaid network. It looks like they want you to buy a phone to use on their prepaid service. And, I think that's unfortunate. I don't know why they do that. So that may not be an option. Now, there are about 3 or 4 other prepaid wireless networks that use the Sprint network, and you may also be able to use that Sprint phone on those networks. There's Virgin Mobile, which I believe is also owned by Sprint. There's Freedom Pop, Boost Mobile, which I think is also owned by Sprint, and then another company called Ting. So all of these are potential options that you could use with that Sprint phone. Now, if I look on the Virgin Mobile site, it says bring your own phone is coming soon. And then if you look through the list of eligible phones, it says iPhone 5S, but Verizon only. But then when you scroll down and look at this table below there, it says for the iPhone 5S, the A1457 is also supported, which is the Sprint iPhone. So you may want to talk to Virgin Mobile support about whether or not your device is supported. Now, any prepaid wireless company that uses the Sprint network is going to want you to check the serial number or IMEI or MEID of your phone to see whether or not they can register it on their network. That's just the way the Sprint network works. So if your phone is eligible, then you're going to need to get a SIM card and then pick a plan and then activate your phone. So those are the steps you would go through. And that's pretty similar regardless of which of the wireless carriers that you choose. Now, if you get your phone unlocked, you'll have a lot of other options. You'll be able to use it on different prepaid wireless services like Straight Talk you mentioned, but also Net10, TracFone, Total Wireless, Cricket Wireless, AT&T prepaid, Verizon prepaid, T-Mobile prepaid, Metro PCS. So there are a lot of different options. And what you want to do is pick a network that works well in your area. So ask your family or friends what networks they use in your area and whether the service is good. And then you're going to want to find a plan that meets your needs. So you're going to need to figure out how much talk and text do you use, how much cellular data do you need, are you going to be connected to Wi-Fi at home or at work? And then you're going to need to figure out what you're going to pay. So you could be spending $30, $40, $50, $60 a month for prepaid wireless service, depending on what features you need. If you only need a limited amount of talk or text, you might want to look at something like TracFone. Total Wireless, I think, has pretty low-cost talk-only plans where you can add data as well. So there are a lot of different options. Now, I understand that this is probably a bit confusing because, honestly, it is confusing. So what I recommend is your best bet is to find out whether your phone is locked or unlocked, and then try and get it unlocked. And then if you have any follow-up questions or comments, just go back and visit smartphonematters.com and look for the article that I wrote there. And if you leave a reply, I'll try and answer any additional questions that you have. All right, I think that's going to be it for this video. I'll catch you guys next time. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.